and pride to have this sense of fulfillment standing before you to commission the completed part of Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway corridor. This is phase 1 section of Ahmadu Bello Way 700-kilometer iconic project spanning the coastal areas of Ogun, Ondo, Delta, Edo, Bayelsa, Rivers, Akwa Ibom, and Cross Rivers states.
President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, pledged the National Assembly's support for economic repositioning.
Mr. President, we have a president who has both sight and vision. And this, for me, is something I must advise our governors, particularly those of them who are on their second terms. Don't give power to anybody who is not prepared. If you do that, you are giving power to somebody who is not prepared for governance. 1,000 miles for Nigerians begins with a step, and that step is what we are starting. 750 kilometers of this Calabar, Lagos-Calabar.
The Minister of Works, David Umahi, says the government spent 18 billion naira compensating those affected by the highway's construction, stressing that all projects must prioritize Nigerian well-being and sustainability.
Mr. President, I want to thank you for the coastal route. When you directed me, say, Dave, I said, which projects do I do for you, Mr. President? He said, just use your initiatives, but go and do the coastal route. And I've said it over and over. Mr. President, in the process of procurement, not just the coastal route, in all the roads we have engaged in, and God is my witness, you never gave us words, you never gave us idea, you never nominated a contractor. I take responsibility and I defend every action of Ministry of Works.
The event was attended by governors from several states, prominent figures including Nobel laureate Wole Soyinka, National Security Advisor Nuhu Ribadu, and industry leaders such as Aliko Dangote, among others. Kike Lomo Okeri, Global Television News.
The All Progressive Congress, APC in Benue State, has endorsed Governor Hyacinth Alia as its sole candidate for the 2027 gubernatorial election. The endorsement was made during a series of events commemorating his second anniversary in office. Our correspondent Felicity Ndere reports.
Gathered at the Ibrahim Badamosi Babangida Square in Makurdi for the event marking Governor Hyacinth Alia's second year in office were leaders of the All Progressive Congress, APC in Benue State, party stakeholders, top government officials from the Alia-led administration, members of the Benue State House of Assembly, led by Deputy Speaker Lamin Danladi, and the good people of Benue State. At the event, Governor Hyacinth Alia and President Bola Ahmed Tinubu were formally endorsed for a second term, with stakeholders citing the need to consolidate the achievement of their first tenure for the greater benefit of Nigerians.
The presidential endorsement of Bola Ahmed Tinubu as a presidential sole candidate. Here also, we will also endorse the leader of all the Progressive Party in Benue State and our leader, the Executive Governor of Benue State, His Excellency, Reverend Father Dr. Isa Emia.
These endorsements today include both the PDP.
I establish that our support will be firm and permanent, and indeed, we are going to give the endorsement for you to be a single candidate of the APC come 2027 election.
Governor Alia highlighted his administration's focus on infrastructure as a drive of socio-economic growth and outlined key achievements over the past 2 years.
We are poised to diversify our economy, tap into our vast mineral wealth, and develop our people. We are committed to a Benue where every citizen can live with dignity and aspire without limits.
Governor Alia acknowledged facing challenges like insecurity and limited resources, but assured that strategic measures are being taken to address them.
Yes, We have faced challenges, insecurity, political distraction, and resource constraints. But we remain undeterred. Our resolve is unshaken. We call on all communities to unite for peace, for progress, and for the great future of Benue State.
The event concluded with goodwill messages from traditional rulers, elder statesmen, and politicians, as well as others, all commending Governor Alia for his purposeful and people-centered leadership. They pledged their unwavering support to him so that he can continue delivering on his promise for the people of Benue State. In Makurdi, Felicity Ndere reporting Global TV News.
The chairman of the Independent Electoral Commission, INEC, Professor Mahmoud Yakub, has charged newly sworn-in resident electoral commissioners to take their job serious and shun anything that will dent their reputation and national development. He made this call while administering the oath of office to the newly sworn-in REC members at the Commission's headquarters in Abuja. Our political correspondent was there and he reports. It was fun to behold as the newly appointed resident electoral commissioners took turns to take their oath in office as they pledged their commitment to nationhood. The ceremony, which was held at the Commission's headquarters in Abuja, had in attendance active and outgoing REC members, members of the Commission, family members, as well as civil societies. The chairman congratulated the new RECs and urged them to focus on their responsibilities and act in good conscience while observing the Constitution. He also seized the opportunity to assign the newly sworn RECs to their new place of responsibility.
It is therefore appropriate to start by congratulating the new RECs that have just taken the oath of office. The conduct of elections is not only a huge responsibility, but also a sacred duty.
Responding on behalf of the newly sworn resident electoral commissioners, Sahad Idris, recently assigned Gombe State REC, thanked the chairman for the confidence reposed on them and pledged to maintain the standard of the commission at all times.
I am committed to upholding the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the Electoral Act, guidelines and regulations, and all policies of the commission under all circumstances.
In the days ahead, Nigerians will be looking forward to the impact of the changes made here. Godwin Sunday, reporting for Global Television News. The House of Representatives has pledged to investigate the immediate and underlying causes of the midnight conduct of the West African Senior School Certification Examination in parts of the country. Chairman of the House Committee on Basic Examination Bodies, Honorable Obuku Ofoji, made this known during a section with officials of the West African Examination Council, WAEC, at the National Assembly. Our correspondent, Sharon Ajay, has the details.
Chairman House Committee on Basic Examination Bodies, Honorable Oboku Ofoji, emphasized that parents deserve an explanation as to why the safety of their children was compromised. The committee had earlier summoned WAEC's leadership to account for what it described as alarming irregularities in the conduct of the ongoing examination. During the meeting, Honorable Ofoji offered an apology to Nigerian parents and the general public for the disturbing incident, notably the report of the exam being conducted around midnight in certain locations.
Parents and Nigerians need to know why their children's lives were endangered. It is expected that WAEC as a body live up to its responsibility of organizing these examinations with high standard, diligence, and proper duty of care.
Representing WAEC at the hearing, Senior Assistant Registrar and Zonal Coordinator Ambrose Okelezo informed the committee that the head of WAEC Nigeria was unable to attend due to an emergency meeting with the registrar and heads of other national offices. Okelezo appealed for the section to be rescheduled to Monday, allowing the WAEC head to appear in person and address the concerns raised. However, this request was met with strong resistance from members of the committee. Honorable Awaji Nnombek Abiente sharply criticized the absence, insisting that WAEC leadership could not dictate the terms of its appearance before the House.
I had my exams. It was not like this. It has never been this bad. And it is under this same condition that you are proposing to have compulsory computer-based tests. How many schools in this country have computer for their students? How many schools?
Echoing the outrage, Honorable Billy Osawaru expressed similar concerns and moved a motion seconded by Honorable Abiente for the adjournment of the hearing until WAEC head could appear personally. The motion was unanimously adopted and resolved to reconvene on Monday, June 2nd. Sharon Ajay reporting for Global TV News.
The Commander Nigerian Navy ship, Sorrow, under the Central Navy Command Operation Delta Safe, Air Commodore Omobamidele Akimbami has warned all unscrupulous elements who are bent on conducting illegal activities in the Niger Delta region to desist or will be taken off the battlefield. Akimbami gave the warning while briefing defense correspondent on a media tour to Operation Delta Safe in Yenagoa, Bayelsa State. Kike Lomo Okere has the details.
The Commander Nigerian Navy ship Sorrow under the Central Navy Command Operation Delta Safe, Commodore Omobamidele Akimbami, assures that the Nigerian military will achieve President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's statutory mandate of attaining 2 million barrels per day of oil production. He added that efforts of the Nigerian Navy are in top gear in checkmating the activities of pipeline vandalism, illegal bunkering, crude oil theft, and other forms of maritime crimes.
In this avenue, to inform all unscrupulous elements planning or indulging in illegal activities to desist from it, because Bayelsa State and its environs will not be an area for them to thrive.
Akimbami acknowledges that challenges remain, particularly in navigating difficult terrain and high cost of logistics for operations in the creeks, but expressed confidence that ongoing efforts will aid the Navy meet its national mandate, while citing significant progress in protecting critical oil infrastructure in the area of responsibility. He attributes the success to discipline, dedication, and professional conduct by personnel, as well as increased support from naval headquarters.
As the base operations officer pointed out in his brief, we are trying to ensure that the country achieves 2 billion barrels. We are working towards that. And to get this done, patriotism among the officers and men, we are not ready, we are not yielding to anything. It is strictly what is to be done and should be done correctly.
In a related development, the Commander 16th Brigade of the Nigerian Army and Sector 2 Command Joint Task Force South-South Operation Delta Safe, Brigadier General Oluremi Obolo, reiterated the military's commitment to protecting oil and gas infrastructure and eliminating criminal activities in Bayelsa State. General Obolo noted that Sector 2 of the Operation Delta Safe under the 16th Brigade operates across difficult terrain with 75% of Bayelsa State covered by water. He emphasized that the recent increase in national oil output are largely due to sustained military operations in the Niger Delta.
Ensure that any kind of criminality in this place is not allowed to fester. Ensure that there's no piracy, no militancy within the joint operations area, and any other thing that may affect the economy of the nation through the activities of these criminals within this area in Bayelsa.
He reaffirmed the commitment of the troops deployed in the key locations across the creeks to uninterrupted production of oil and gas, while also preventing piracy, militancy, and economic sabotage. Kike Lomo Okeri, Global Television News.
Now let's go to the world of business. A group under the auspices of African Center for Energy Governance and Accountability, ACEGA, has tasked President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to forge a deeper investment ties in energy infrastructure, faster resolution of legacy disputes, and strategic planning for Nigerians' energy transition in the face of global decarbonization targets. According to the group's executive director, Dr. Usman Bello Idris, the Nigerian oil and gas sector is still faced with challenges in refining capacity, gas monetization, and energy access for its people. The suggestion is coming on the heels of the second-year administration of President Bola Tinubu, which has elicited critical assessment of his governance since he became president. Dangote Petrochemical Refinery will receive at least 5 million barrels of imported crude oil within the next 4 weeks of July. The import delivery consisted of U.S. to West Texas immediate crude. The refinery has awarded tender for the purchase of around 161,000 barrels per day of U.S. crude to be delivered in July. The final totals for the month may change if the refinery makes more purchases. Meanwhile, Nigerian crude exports to the United States increased from 355,000 barrels per day to 364,000 barrels per day after the Dangote Petroleum Refinery reduced its daily fuel production between April and May 2025. Quoting the Energy Information Administration, U.S. crude and fuel inventories all fell last week, while the crude import from Nigeria hit their highest level in nearly 6 years. Crude inventories fell by 2.5 million barrels per day to 440.4 million barrels in the week ending May 23, compared with analyst expectation in a Reuters poll for a 118,000 barrel rise. The African Development Bank says Nigeria is losing about 8.8 billion naira every year due to its large informal economy in its 2025 African Economic Outlook report. According to the bank, informal enterprises, including street vendors, smallholders, farmers, and micro and small businesses, make up a significant share of economic activities across Africa, but remain largely untaxed. The report noted that while informal business contributes significantly to economic activities and employment, much of the wealth they generate remain outside the tax system, resulting in substantial revenue losses that could be used to finance development. On the foreign scene, the federal government has denied knowledge of a controversial Russia work study program linked to the production of military drones used in the war against Ukraine. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs says Nigeria was not involved in it. However, a document posted on the website of the Ministry of Education, which had been trending for a while, suggests Nigerian youth were encouraged to apply for the scholarship. Meanwhile, the Russian government has denied recent allegations that Nigerian youth, particularly young women, are being recruited to work in military drone factory under the guise of scholarship scheme. In a statement published via a verified Russian social media account, the government dismissed the claim as false and part of what it described as a Western-sponsored smear campaign. Russian government noted that the statement was in response to growing media coverage, particularly in Nigerian outlets, concerning the activities at the Special Economic Zone in Alabuga, Tatasan, adding that the statement suggested that Nigerian students recruited under a vocational scholarship program were being engaged in military drone assembling for the ongoing conflict in Ukraine. The Ivory Coast political opposition, an alliance of parties known as the Coalition for a Peaceful Alternation, has called for political dialogue with the ruling party, Rally of the Republicans, RDR, 5 months ahead of the presidential election. Opposition leaders denounced President Alassane Ouattara's potential candidate, as well as the exclusion of several political figures from the electoral list, including banker Tijani Thiam, former Chief Executive Officer, CEO of Swiss bank Credit Suisse, to allow the candidacy of all political leaders. The country's former First Lady, Samion Gbagbo, asked President Alassane Ouattara to take his pen to write an amnesty law that will erase everything. In Paris, Tijani Thiam, president of the coalition and the PDCI, the main opposition party, projected a video onto big screen. In the video, he said that justice not be instrumentalized. He said that justice must not be instrumentalized and called for a revision of the electoral list before the election. In sports, Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea and Manchester United have stepped up interest in the Atlanta forward Ademola Lookman as the Nigerian international emerges as one of the most sought-after players in the summer transfer market following his remarkable Serie A campaign. The 27-year-old has become a prime target for several Premier League heavyweights after contributing 25 goals across all competitions this season, with his outstanding performances propelling Atlanta into European contention and significantly increasing his market value. Arsenal have reportedly made Lookman their primary transfer target ahead of Atlético Madrid's Nico Williams as they look to strengthen their attacking options. Manager Mikel Arteta is building a squad capable of competing on all fronts, and Lookman presents an exciting profile given their current focus on the squad depth. Nigerian international Victor Boniface could be on his way out of the Bay Arena this summer as Bayern 04 Leverkusen have slapped a €50 million price tag on the striker. The former Bundesliga champions, who recently appointed ex-Ajax, Amsterdam and Manchester United gaffer Erik ten Hag to be their new manager, are seemingly preparing for life under the Dutchman following the departure of Xabi Alonso to Real Madrid, and could let Boniface out the door in order to fund new signings. According to German outlet Sport Bild, Bayern Leverkusen have lowered their asking price for Boniface to the tune of €50 million as they are looking to offload him this summer. He was close to sealing a €70 million to Saudi Pro League outfit Al Nassr during the January-winter transfer window before the Saudi Arabian side changed their mind and signed Colombian ace Joan Duran from Aston Villa. As Global TV News Express comes to an end, here is a recap of our top stories. On Global TV News Express, President Bola Tinubu has reaffirmed the federal government's commitment to local content, technology transfer, and empowering Nigerians. In business, a group under the auspices of African Center for Energy Governance and Accountability, ASEGA, has tasked President Bola Tinubu on the need for deeper investments in energy infrastructure, faster resolution of legacy disputes, and strategic planning for Nigerians' energy transition in the face of global decarbonization targets. On the foreign scene, the federal government has denied knowledge of a controversial Russia work study program linked to the production of military drones used in the war against Ukraine. And in sports, Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea, and Manchester United have stepped up their interest in Atlanta forward Ademola Lookman as the Nigerian international emerges as one of the most sought-after players in the summer's transfer market following his remarkable Serie A campaign. That's it on the Global TV News Express. A quick reminder that Global TV is on DSTV channel 365 and StarTimes channel 276. Kindly follow us across all our social media platforms now showing on your screen using @GlobalTVNG. You can download the Global TV Nigerian app for Android and iOS devices to keep track of our broadcasts. I am Godwin Sunday. Thank you for watching.